We have already discussed in the last class how the ahankara is being developed and how we are being trapped by ahankara. Ahankara by itself is useful because without ahankara we cannot function. In fact, for my day-to-day activities I need ahankara. But most of the time I am being trapped. Why and how I am being trapped, that we have discussed in details in previous class. You can find it out. And to bring down that, because please understand, you use to manage anything and everything through ahankara. Now to manage ahankara, you cannot use ahankara. So that's why to manage ahankara, you need to have viveka. So viveka with reference to what? Seeing the defect, seeing the limitations. That's why we say, look, this is not one life, there are many lives. If it is one life, you can do whatever you want, then you can get away. But if there are many lives, where can you escape? Again, you have to come back to pay back. You understand? And secondly, trying to see dosham, defect, in everything and not other way around. Okay, there are people, they see only defect in others, not in one's own self. Okay, that is the perfect ahankara. Here, seeing the defect in me and with reference to anything and everything. We have taken different angle in the last class, both positive and also negative. In fact, the more I start seeing the defect, wherever my ahankara is trying to relate, then what will happen? My ahankara cannot be strong. In fact, I corner, I isolate my ahankara. That we have seen. And today we'll be seeing asakti. So asakti, that is a very common. Asakti is opposite of sakti. Sometimes opposite of we say asakti. Asamantat sakti. What is sakti? Very nicely, Adi Shankaracharya uses this word. Sangha nimiteshu visheshu priti matram tad abhavaha asakti. That is called sakti. So you can say that, so that is called, let us say, clinging attachment, where you develop some type of priti, some type of, let us say, care, some type of attachment. So now there is a priti bhava that is dearer to you. Now if we try to look at, he uses a word, generally this is Shakti or Ashakti. It comes to, with reference to, he gives the example both Putra, Dara, Gruhadishu. We can take both because Anavishwangaha and Ashakti both are related to both this word. How? If we observe our life all the time, I am clinging to many things. And why I cling? Because of my ahankara. So ahankara isolates me from many places, especially wherever it feels threatened, challenged. And wherever it feels is safe, there it becomes sticky. And this stickiness being presented as caring. So I care for you. But are you really care for me, or you are clinging to me out of possession? It's very subtle difference. I'll give you a beautiful example psychologically between this father and mother love. Most of the cases, okay, not. Actually, father generally, whatever does, it is out of asakti. So there is some type of possessive. And because of possessiveness, now father does everything but demands something. That's why if the child wants to do something, father will not accept so easily. Whereas what mother will do? Mother will care for it. Finally will say, okay, if you are happy, do whatever you want. As long as you are happy, I don't have anything to say. Can you see this point? Even if you don't listen to us, even if you don't do what we say, but if you are happy, we are trying to guide you best. It doesn't matter. If you are happy, continue. Hidingly, mother supports generally. I'm talking about those days. Nowadays, don't worry. Parents, nowadays, father is mother, mother is father. Okay, it's confused. Okay, neither mother plays the role of mother, nor father plays the role of father. Okay, so looks like sometimes eunuch. So that is called role confusion. How this happens? Now he uses this word very carefully. Now we need to look at both that how to develop asakti, what we call anasakta bhavam. I need not become possessive of anything. And he uses this word also, anavishwangaha. So anavishwangaha, he uses this word, same thing. That this is little more than this asakta bhava. So this avishwangaha means considering the object of attachment as me. We have a beautiful concept you can see for yourself, especially parents. That's why he uses this word putra, dara, gruhadishu, step by step. When your child is sick, what happens to you? You feel sick. When child is happy, you are happy. Child brings a good news. What happens to you? You are happy. Child brings a bad news. What happens to you? So that means identifying with your child as your extension or survival extension. Or you can say you are surviving through your child. Is nothing called avishwanga. That's why you say putre nashte aham nashta, putre pushte aham pushta. When something goes wrong with the child, it goes wrong, I am wrong. When something goes right with child, I am right. And same thing also can happen with reference to dara, spouse. wife or husband. And here he uses this word dara. Generally we take it as wife. Of course husband you can take. Both can be taken. Because this is what you look at the life. Always you or ego is connected to that person where your ego is not being challenged. Look at the relationship. What is a relationship? Relationship is nothing. It is all about ego being taken care. And as long as your ego is being taken care, that long you want to relate with that person. The day you discover that your ego is not going to be taken care anymore, will you like to relate with that person? Try. It's not going to work. If you are egoist, okay? That's why an egoist person will break relationship. Because my ego is being challenged. So this Avishvanga is so strong. And why? Because of asakti. Sakti bhava is there. Now, I cannot see anything and everything. That's why he says, generally with reference to three things and etc. of course. So starting with putra, child, son or daughter, child, dara, wife but spouse, gruha adishu. So gruha means house etc. Dhana, wealth, you can add anything you want. Now, with reference to these things, there is a natural dependence. And remember, what is dependence? Dependence is nothing but other form of ego massage. So whenever and wherever your ego is being massaged, you understand? Not a therapy oriented massage, okay? Recently I was in Bangalore. I'm not telling you jokes. Out of 45 minutes, I think 30 minutes I was crying. It was so hard, so difficult. Literally I was crying. That fellow is asking, how are you? I say, yeah, I'm good. You continue whatever you are doing it. And next day, I thought it will be lesser, it became worse. Then third day I have to say, please, will you please stop? Just namesake apply oil, this is my massage enough, I don't want. I had to ask to stop. So I am not talking about therapeutic massage, okay? I am talking about, you understand, relaxing massage. I made a mistake, I could have asked me, give me relaxing massage. So that on massage table, I should not only sleep, I should snore. So like that, ego massage, you understand? Not your ego is getting roasted. So here he says, with reference to this putra, dara, gruhadishu, it is very common for anyone ego to be massaged. Why and how? Let us look at a very serious point. As you know, which we have discussed long back, Never ever interfere with anyone, especially if there is a conflict between any blood relationship. Suppose father and son, mother and child, or two brothers, two sisters, sometimes wife and husband. Never ever interfere, never ever say good or bad. Learn to, yes, like a parrot. Not parrot, sorry, pigeon. Parrot, that fellow sometimes talks badly, okay? You are wrong. You are finished. What is pigeon does? Yeah, I do that, okay, with all of you. But it is required. Do you know why? I am in a good mood today, that's what I am trying to say. You know the story of psychologist. There was a big, great psychologist. So being a big, great psychologist, so he thought, why not to have some pet? And as usual, you know, all the psychologists, they have their problem. Because if you have dog as a pet, you have some problem. If you have cat as pet, you have some problem. So he thought, no, I will go for a different pet. He said, why not? I will go for some bird as pet. So went to a bird shop. He said, look, I would like to have a parrot, and which is a really good one who can listen to me. Interestingly, the shop owner knows this psychologist because he's a very big person. He said, okay, yes. What is your requirement? I need a bird who can listen to me and I can talk to that. So give me that parrot. I don't mind what is the price. Then this bird shop owner, pet shop owner, brought one particular bird, nicely pigeon. He said, look, this is the African parrot. And little bit costly. Now what costly? Gave a fancy price. Why? Because it's well trained, but it looks not like parrot, looks different. That's why I told you it's African parrot, okay? And it has been trained properly, don't worry. And it will solve your purpose. And if it does not solve your purpose, after 3 months, you can bring it back. I will take back this bird and pay you money. I said, okay, that's good. Because I do all sittings, I never pay back money, but now he wants to give me back after 3 months. That's fantastic. Paid huge money, took back. Now, what happens? After he finishes his sessions, because everywhere he has to listen to. So tired, there is nobody to talk to. Even if wife says, okay, you shut your mouth, have food and go to sleep. The moment he comes back, now this bird is there, then he will talk. That bird will say what? So whatever this person talks, the bird says, And he was so happy that he will be waiting how quickly he can finish his clinic and come back to home to talk to the bird. So after a few months, as he was going in the morning walk, suddenly saw this owner of that pet shop. The shop owner said, oh, I am going to get caught. He was, hey, please listen. He said, oh God knows what is going to happen. Now it's going to be almost 3 months now. Maybe he wants to return. He says, look, finally met each other. So before this psychologist could ask any question, this person said, how is this parrot, that too, this South African parrot? He said, I wanted to thank you, that's why I am calling you. What a parrot you have given me. Really amazing. But there is a problem. He said, what is the problem? Problem is that everybody says it is not a parrot. They say it is a pigeon. And you have sold me a pigeon stating that it is a South African parrot that too well trained. But to be very honest, I don't care. Because every day I come back home, I want someone to listen to me. And I discover this bird is perfect for me. Not only listens all the time, also responds. So whatever I say, the bird responds. I want to thank you. In fact, I was in need of this one, not so-called parrots. So imagine, what does it mean? Because his ego is being massaged. Look at your relationship. Why present day people don't want to relate? Why relationship breaks? Not that they are independent, but the ego is so strong without foundation. You understand? The ego is so strong without foundation. And when the ego is being challenged, foundation collapses, relationship breaks. Whereas in earlier days, ego was there, but with foundation. And when ego is there with foundation, yes, ego will be challenged. Again, you are relying upon foundation. Then again, you try to see the limitations. You don't break. You never become fragile. That's why we say egoist person is a fragile person. The more you become egoist, the more you are fragile. That's why if you break down time to time or regularly, it means you are an egoist person. That's why you have to see very carefully, and once you are an egoist person, whether you like it or not, there will be strong attachment, strong dependence on something or somebody. And that can be putra, child, that can be spouse, that can be your house, your name, fame or wealth, something. You need to, or you have to, and you will completely depend upon, not only depend upon, you will think that is your existence, that is your extension. And what happens? Without that, you cannot survive. And as long as you enjoy that, you continue in that. But remember, it's not going to work in long run. So that's why he uses this very carefully, that you need to have jnanam. So what sort of knowledge you need to have? Hey, look, yes, family I need, the child is good, extension of me I can say. I can love, remember, not with possession, but I have to love with freedom. Loving, caring with possession, loving and caring with freedom. There is a big difference. It is exactly like if you love somebody, can you kill? Because possessiveness will kill. Because if it is not mine, it cannot be anyone's. You understand? Very nicely in our childhood we had, sayings in Odia language. You know, when this two women fights, especially two women of same man, okay? So when they fight, what they will say? Look, I can be widow. Let my husband die. No, I don't mind to be widow, even if my husband dies. Because, I know. Let her be widow, even if my husband dies. Sorry, I made a mistake. Let her be widow, even if my husband dies. You understand? But she forgets, she also equally will be widow. It's very nice when they fight those days, and you can listen to it. We have a lot of examples in this regard. So that's why here is being highlighted. Oh, time is up already. Huh? So what we need to do, that how I am depending upon, and moreover how my security becomes my anxiety. Because security should not be bondage, and once security becomes bondage, from bond security, that's why I say put your bond. Once security with bondage becomes your anxiety. Also, I need to look at that with reference to this, I should not have any fear, means sense of loss, but I should be happy and calm. And most importantly, I must be free. That's why Pujya Swami used to say this. With this I'll stop it. To the extent you give freedom to others, to that extent you are a free person. To the extent you give freedom to others, to that extent you are a free person. In fact, that is called Anavishwanga.